Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest. He is a diplomat. He is Indian Foreign Service officer. Welcome Santhosha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very happy to have you. You are really an inspiration for me also and to so many of the aspirants. I keep giving your example. What about your childhood? How was it like?
It was great. I was going for a government school, as you have noticed that, to read the newspapers, which were old newspapers, just thrown in the food packets.
So you used to read anything that was coming in waste papers?
Yeah, sir. It's mainly from the waste paper that.
How does it feel like, you were there in a village and, you went through so many struggles and now being put in kind of glitz kind of world, where everything shines?
If I would have not cracked this exam and I would not into the Indian Foreign Service, my word is that only little bit as the village and around, if I would have come to Bangalore and around Karnataka.
So now from Ajjampura to, Argentina. Now you are in Indian Foreign Service. Did you face any cultural shock?
Yes, sir, I faced it. But life, what I have seen here, it's entirely different in the Lavasna, what I have seen, and in Delhi. It was really cultural shock for me.
Even help you pick up or you just learnt on your own?
For my own.
So what is your opinion regarding there are lakhs of aspirants from villages, from different parts of India?
If you are very strong enough to achieve the same thing, if you pursue it, you can achieve it.
So how do you look at yourself in the future?
I want to be an ambassador for my neighboring countries.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Little More Light. Today we have a very special guest. He is a diplomat. On Monday he is going to Argentina as part of his diplomatic assignment. He is Indian Foreign Service officer. But the journey towards becoming Indian Foreign Service officer and the journey towards another continent, South America, Argentina, was not an easy journey. So he was a student at Insights IAS. And before that, he went through lots of struggles. He was born in a village in Karnataka. Till 10th standard, he studied in a village in a government junior college. After that, because of certain circumstances, and I can say because of poverty also, he was kind of forced to do diploma education to earn a livelihood. So he started working in civil engineering field to earn certain income. But he was not satisfied with that. He also wrote a banking exam and then cracked clerical examination. He started working in a bank for 3 years. Meanwhile, he also completed his graduation from Bangalore University. Later, then again, I think there was some burning ambition within him that he wanted to reach higher pedestal. So he wrote DRDO exam and then went into a technical job. There he worked for 6 years. While working there, he decided that he should pursue civil services examination. And then in his second attempt, he cracked the examination. Unfortunately, he was not given service for some reasons. And then third attempt, he was not able to clear prelims. But then again in fourth attempt, he was able to crack and get Indian Foreign Service. So his name is Santhosha. Again, this is not it. There is something more to it. At the age of 10 years, he also started experiencing hearing impairment. So that was gradual. And then it started getting more and more exacerbated. And then he had to face certain problem with the speaking also. That hearing impairment affected problem, but then through his hard work, through his struggle, he overcame these impairments and he was able to crack one of the toughest examinations. Welcome Santhosha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So very happy to have you. You are really an inspiration for me also and to so many of the aspirants. I keep giving your example actually. So whenever people come with complaints that they are facing this problem, that problem. So how does it feel like now you are in Indian Foreign Service and I am hearing good reviews about your performance also there. How does it feel now?
Sir, it's great actually now. After that, so many struggles and with any experiences which I would ever had in the previous. So it's great to work with that practice with the towards the people to working there. Indian Foreign Service gives a great opportunity. It has service as a service. You can say that we don't have any that much exposure as towards the Indian Foreign Service as a common man, as we have for the Indian Administrative Service or Indian Police Service. So when I went for that, undergoing the training, I get the different spheres of the diplomacy, where we can get at how the embassies works, how the ministries works. So based on that experience, it's really great. And whatever the effort, the efforts I have put, it's worth it. So
How does it feel like, you were there in a village, and you went through so many struggles, and now suddenly being put in all this kind of glitz kind of world, where everything shines, huh? So you are always among with diplomats, so called accomplished people. They come and give you lectures,
uh,
they enlighten you about various issues. So sitting in that kind of environment, how does it feel now, looking back?
it's a wonderful experience to sit in that and learning from them, that accomplished people. So the diplomacy, the development is not just an inward looking it up that inside. It is just one outward world also. Through that, I can experience those experiences which are shared by the former ambassadors or the scholars, think tank scholars. So it's great to learn. It will be an opportunity. Otherwise, if I would have not cracked this exam and I would not into the Indian Foreign Service, I would have been in that. My word is that only little bit as the village and around. If I would have come to Bangalore and around Karnataka, but it's great experience to learn from all those things. Special thinkers, everything. So you will be exposed to variety of things. The world is not small things. You will say we are as a preparation. I would never studied. I would have studied comparison of constitution to only with the major powers. Now, as a diplomat, this one, I will study even small like Suriname countries. Many of the Indians might not know, but we will study that Suriname constitution also, that power plays, how the power politics plays. So it gives a immense pleasure to learn more things and expand our knowledge base, and so it's a great experience. Right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
So now from Ajjampura to Argentina, so you are going there. How mentally you are prepared, and what is the support that you get from the department or external affairs ministry, and like basically how you are prepared for this?
So it's great. Now I am going for a language training. So my embassy has organized for my admission of the language training, Spanish language, in University of Buenos Aires. So Ministry of External Affairs has arranged everything. So it has come from the my traveling and their accommodation. When it comes to the embassy, I have interacted with my ambassador also. Even he came to India and he through over the phone call. So that it's a great experience. Everybody is looking forward to interact me and receive me. That it's a great experience, and Ministry of External Affairs takes care very well. So their subject, whatever the officers, they takes very well. So.
Okay, the Spanish, like, was it your choice or?
So my choice also, I read Spanish.
So can you tell me like why you chose Spanish?
Learning Spanish word, it's one of the UN language, and it was available. So that's why the main reason I took it. It's very good. 33 Europe Spanish countries. It will be that. So Latin America, one of the next future
countries,
33 countries, and the next future is that Latin America. So
so the next future is Latin America.
No, Asia also that I want to that.
No, of course.
So it's what they will also play the role. I can say that the distance is doesn't matter in the future. So 100 years back we are thinking about the distance. Now we can communicate with each other countries. So same case will be next also.
Okay. So it's a very global village now. You can travel fast. Also, we can communicate fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you'll be a student again in the university, in the Buenos Aires University. So you'll be doing full time or?
It's half time, sir. Half day in the office and the half day will be the Buenos Aires college. It's great to go again because I have not gone much a regular college.
Correct.
So now it is an opportunity to go to regular college. So that
will be another kind of great exposure for
you. Yes, sir.
Interacting with foreign students.
It's a great experience. Other country diplomats also will be there. Other students will be there. So interacting with them will be the great.
Okay. So were you exposed to Spanish language here in academy also?
No, sir. We are supposed to learn the Spanish when we go there. That one. but I learned a few words during the Duolingo app. That word,
Okay.
not
Using
much.
app, you learned some
That,
words.
but it's better to go there and like that. So like,
Okay, so here they don't teach at the Sushma Swaraj Academy of
Sushma Raj Institute of Foreign Service.
Foreign Service.
This
Yes.
is New Delhi. So they won't teach you Spanish language. They will teach you the diplomatic part and the multilateral, bilateral relations. Then commercial and economic diplomacy, negotiation part, protocol part, consular and passport services, visa services. So these things they will teach. So the language part will be with the abroad only. When we move out of the country, so there only we will join our universities and we'll learn our languages.
So what about your batchmates and all? You were in the company of so many batchmates who wanted to become diplomats. How is your the friendship with all your batchmates?
Batchmates is a great actually. So I have many friends in that. So during the Basna, we had interaction with all the there will all services will be there. So IAS, IPS, everyone. So mainly we will be close with those who will stay in the same hostel because we'll get more time to interact with them because this is a huge crowd. It will be that. So it's difficult to remember the names of everything. So if in the hostel that friends will be good. Many of them wanted to become a diplomat and they were be writing again. Even my roommate, he wanted to become a diplomat. So he was in IRS customs. So he was writing it again and he was preparing there. And even if you come in year, Sushma Swaraj Institute, our batch and most of the people around 70% of the people first choice is IFS. They wanted to become diplomat. So that is the changing trend, you can say that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that more number of people
Mm.
want to become diplomats.
Mm.
So any reason that you might have found out why there is some shift, why some students want to become candidates want to become diplomats?
That so one change is that changing global role of India. So that is changing that we are going to become the 5 trillion economy and 10 trillion economy. We are going to be the third largest economy. So that changes another 10 to 15 years. That makes a big role. And during Rambudkal, India will transform a lot. So that's the reason one maybe that people are choosing. Another maybe that cadre allocation factor.
Okay.
So that also that unpredictability about the cadre also makes them to choose the IFS.
So what about your childhood? Like, how was it like?
Childhood, sir, it was great. I was going for a government school, as you have noticed that. So my friend says a rural school. It was. I brought up mainly that I used to study the books, everything that which were brought by my uncles. They used to bring some books. Okay, so that day, and we don't get any newspaper there. This is a very interior village. Okay, so that was so I used to read the newspapers, which were old newspapers, just thrown in the food packets. They used to use the food packets. So that was my newspaper reading hobby. I from there only I picked up. So waste paper.
To read anything that was coming in waste papers.
Yeah, sir. It's mainly some of the waste paper that you popped up. That the Indian newspaper you won't get it. It's very difficult to get them there.
So what about English? Like you studied in Kannada medium,
Yeah.
and then how did you start learning English?
Sir, English learning I learned alphabets in the class 2. That okay, class 2. Then if in the 5th standard we are formally introduced the English subject. There was one sir, okay, Prakash sir. So he was the one who taught us the English. It was the best way. That first thing that we thought that okay, English is a foreign language, why we should learn it. So that that was in the mind. So that's why I didn't do the homework. So I went without doing the homework to the school. But that teacher called me and he beat it as okay. We are 3 cousins. We were in the same class. So he beat it as okay. Why you are not written like that? So that first time I was a very good student. The first time somebody beat me, so it hurted me so much. So there onwards I started picking up the English. I started learning from there.
Okay.
So then in the class 8, I switched my medium to English medium.
Okay. So in the same village or?
No, a different village and the high school. So nearby Ajjampura. So there I switched my medium to English. But that school also that I say that in fact the quality of education not that good.
In village, most of the schools are for namesake English
Namesake English
but
medium.
everybody
You
speaks in-
either you won't learn Kannada, either you won't learn English. So that is the case. It's actually a disaster. I can say that the switching of that. But later on, I picked up.
Yeah, I have seen many of your essays, and the written English used to be very good. And you also, I remember you mentioning you started reading different books also.
Yes, sir.
How did you develop that reading habit? and writing habit also?
Sir, reading habit I started during my high school. That I used to go to the government library, and so when I shifted my high school, I shifted my school to some nearby another village, bigger village. So there we used to get the newspaper. So I used to go to the one of the printing press. They used to bring all the periodicals, newspapers. So there I used to read the newspapers, and I used to go to the government library. So there I started reading. I started reading Kannada books. Sir. Later on, I developed to other language, English. When I come to Bangalore only, I started reading English books and all.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this reading habit, how much it is important?
Sir, it changes your perspective, sir. It is very much fundamental as far as a human being. Reading habit is a must because you can't experience everything in your life, so you have to learn through others' experience, other exposures, everything. So that's why reading habit is the best thing to learn you and evolve your personality.
So in foreign service institution, do they tell you to read books? Do they kind of force you?
So they don't force you; they suggest you the books, and there will be we have a clubs, book reading, book clubs, library clubs. So we used to have the discussions. So reading clubs will be there. So through that, the hobbies will be there, and they will encourage. And you have to write the review on one book. And so basically, we during the class hours and after whenever we get the free time, we used to read. Everyone in our batch used to read the books, and the gap is between the different sessions will be half an hour. During that time, everyone used to read books.
Okay, how many are there in your batch?
35 people. 35.
35. Can you describe the institution where you were undergoing training? How is it?
So there's a Sushma Institute of Foreign Service. It's located in the JNU campus, old JNU campus in the South Delhi. Basically, trains for the IFSODs and foreign diplomats. And then we will, along with us, we will also be trained by the Bhutanese diplomats. It looks after a very good campus and small campuses, but it's a very good infrastructure is there, whatever is available in that one. They taught us on the phase 1, phase 2, 2 modules will be there. Phase 1, we will learn about the basic things about neighborhood moduli, bilateral relations, major powers. These things will be taught in that. So next in the phase 2, we will be taught about commercial and economic diplomacy, negotiation skills, protocol, and consular and passport visa. And now the new focus is the 3 T's: trade, technology, and tourism, science and technology. So these are the things that will be focused there in the our institute. Apart from this, we have attachments. We had Bharat Darshan, we had state attachment, and Navy attachment, Army attachment, and also we had science and technology attachment. Where we came to Bangalore and visited different private institutions like Biocon, Infosys, Intel, and it's a great exposure. IISc, NIS. So it's a great exposure to learn about what are the things they are doing, and so that has made us to get exposure, and we can propagate this whatever the technology we develop in the field where our country we visit, that we can say.
Can you name few experts who came to teach you or guide you about all these things?
Many of the scholars, you can say Aparna one day, Rajmohan, and Sujata Mahta ma'am. So they came, then ambassadors, former ambassadors, Mohan Kumar and Syed Ahmad.
What about our honorable External Affairs Minister Jaishankar ji? So did you take any?
The first day of reporting, we have met our minister, Jaishankar sir, the first day, and we had in the 40s also evening sometime. We had our earlier foreign secretary at the Mission Class send off was there. So during that time also we met, and our valedictory section also will be chaired by, and our special guest is our honorable External Minister, Affairs Minister. So
Okay.
you get an opportunity to interact with him also.
Did you face any cultural shock? Because being born and brought up in village, then in Bangalore also there is not much exposure because you were there in civil services, community. Now suddenly when you go to Delhi, Labasna, and when you start experiencing, a new kind of life, in the initial days, did you face any problem, or you just got adjusted to it?
Yes, sir, I faced it. But life, what I have seen here, it's entirely different in the Lavasna, what I have seen, and in Delhi. It was really cultural shock for me. So, but later on, I understood that it's the life. So, like that. So, whatever.
Did anyone help you pick up, or like you just learnt on your own?
I learned on my own that.
Okay, so you just went through the process and you
Process,
learned.
process through the process I just learned it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, what is your opinion regarding there are lakhs of aspirants
Hmm.
from villages, from different parts of India,
Hmm.
who wants to become civil servants,
Hmm.
and then we have very limited number of posts.
Hmm.
Uh, Anything if you want to tell them, like.
Sir, it doesn't matter that whatever the number of posters or everything, that is still really competition. But if you are very strong enough and to achieve the same thing, if you pursue it, you can achieve it. That can I can say that you can pursue it. So sometimes the clear of see, the last three batches, 18, 19, 20, that was the vacancies were around 700, 800, and in 21, 22 exam it was 1150. So someday your opportunity will come. So you just keep trying that, and definitely you can succeed. That's what I can say. That
So what kept you going? Actually, you also faced certain problems. There was no service allocation, and
mm,
then there was prelims failure
mm,
because of CSAT. So
mm,
you're not in the right frame of mind because the gap was very few days
yeah,
between prelims and your final result.
mm,
And then again, you bounced back and you got the rank.
mm.
How did you go through all this process? Without giving up, without losing your motivation.
So the main motivation is that giving back to the society. Actually, I whatever the education I got or whatever wherever I worked, almost I everything is from the taxpayers' money. Okay, so I wanted to give back to them. So that's why that was the one of the motivation that like, it's okay. So society has given me everything, so I wanted to give back to them. So that for that reason, I remembered everything whatever I got. So, and the problems which I faced in my personal life, with my parents which was they faced, I have faced, then my friends used to face. So that kept me very strong. That yeah, you have to achieve that. You have to help them as much as you can. So that is the motivation I carry. That through that only I carry more. Okay, so I don't want to be harm something just for that. Like, with I should work more and I should satisfy me that yeah I have worked and I have earned it. Just like that, without working I should not earn any single penny. So that's what I think. That's why I resigned even in DRDO. I was not getting that much satisfaction, internal satisfaction, which I used to get in a bank. So I can narrate an anecdote that we used to distribute the pensions for the village old age pension schemes, the
In
disabled
bank.
pension bank in the bank. So that then in that one we used to see that whenever it used to be late, I used to send my assistant who was there to bring the checks from the treasury, and they used to bring back and bring to the bank. Then we had to credit that amount, and we used to disperse that amount to the pensioners. The happiness we see after post that dispersing of that uh, pension is incomparable. And whenever you sanction the loans to the people and for their immediate requirements for their son's education or for their children's everything, you can see the happiness in their face. That are all the things motivated me to pursue the services.
So nearly there is 10 years of job experience.
Yes,
How is that helping you today as a diplomat?
so it helping me very immensely. That see, for example, the experience which I have as a civil engineer or experience as a banker or as a DRDO, then we do the defense diplomacy, we do the economic diplomacy, central banking expert, we have the construction, everything, all kinds of work you have to do. We have to, if you go to the our neighborhood countries, many of the projects are sponsored by our country to the grants or through the grants in aid, okay, or loans we can do with LOCs we will give. So that helps me a lot to understand the subjects. So whatever your past experience, it will immensely help you in your future.
So how do you look at yourself in the future? Like from here, where do you want to go?
You can say I can go up to the main. I want to be an ambassador for my neighboring countries.
Okay.
Okay, so that
So
was
you
the
want to work in neighborhood countries
neighborhood
as an
countries.
ambassador.
As an ambassador.
Why?
It's a really great exposure what you get in that the national security aspects and the developmental aspects, everything will be depend upon the your neighborhood. So that is the very challenging job you can handle in that.
Okay.
So that's
So
why.
you see yourself going there and solving the relationship problems
So yeah, sir, that's
and
very
developmental problems.
developmental problem. You can grow together also. So neighborhood is your identity will be with the neighborhoods. Okay, so South Asian region. So that through that I get through that identity I want to work.
So what about people back in your village? Do they understand that? Because for them, getting rank in UPSC is equal to IAS.
Yes, sir.
If you get a rank in UPSC, they say you got IAS.
Yeah.
Did they understand, or do they understand that you are Indian Foreign Service officer now, and you are going outside India most of the time?
So not completely, sir, but I get whenever I get an opportunity, I say that how a diplomat works, what is the role of a diplomat, how does it help in the for a diplomat in day-to-day diplomats work in the day-to-day life of the common man. So I just give an example of the mobile phone, the lithium which comes from the Latin America. So that way you can use the
So you
extended
told
life.
them you're going to bring lots of lithium to India.
Yes, sir. We'll do our best to get so much lithium, and we are doing the technological revolutions, digital revolutions. So we require more energy, more resources. So we definitely will get it, sir.
Okay. So what about family? What is their feeling right now?
My mother and father, they're not much happy for the foreign service because I am leaving here from here that much. So they wanted me to take either IRS or some other services. But if you as a service, if you consider it's a foreign service, a great exposure. So I am trying to them and make them understand that what is foreign service is.
So what about you? You're happy with this service?
I am very much happy, sir. I am very much happy because really, first when I got it, I was not that much sure about how the foreign service goes at. But post training that, I am very happy because you can work in any field of the wherever you work. The diversity, what it IAS gives, it can much better. You can say that you will get every work sector. International cooperation is required from in every ministry. It can petroleum ministry or urban and housing ministry or in a state governments. You require everywhere international cooperation. So that gives an emerging opportunity. So that's why I'm very happy.
Okay.
Happy.
So when you go away from India, will you miss India?
I don't think so. It may be for family life, I find a personal front family. That way I might miss. But when you get into the work, so you will be keep involving in that. So that. But I won't miss
the work will keep you busy, so
Visit.
you won't miss.
I won't be missing it. Yeah.
And I think it's not missing India; it is giving back to India. So
yes, sir, really, sir. And technically, I will be in India only.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the territory,
Is it? Yeah.
Indian territory, sovereign.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a new insight. I mean, good insight.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you think about India's growth? We keep saying about Vishwaguru. We keep saying that we are the next superpower. Now you are inside diplomacy. Okay. What do you think?
Sir, Vishwaguru concept is that we are going superpower. Yes, the majority, the economy, how we are internally growing, that is really helping India. That to showcase, focus our stance in the outside. If we are now we have a G20 presidency, so that makes that G20 is the very big role. We make the policies for all aspects for the entire nations, entire world's growth. And the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam really makes it the India is the main Vishwaguru, or that we looks after the world's growth. We won't dictate something like that. This one you have to do, or you have to like China's diplomacy or something like that. So what we does is that based on their requirements, developmental requirements, and we will assist them. So that makes the good will towards the India. That brings very good will brings to.
So we will be a superpower.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when India becomes superpower, will your role change?
We will facilitate the development of the country. We won't dictate. We will facilitate the development of the world.
So okay, Santosh, it was pleasure speaking to you, discussing with you, having this conversation. I always wanted to have this conversation with you. For myself and for the audience also. I hope you will go on to achieve bigger things in Indian Foreign Service, and I'm very sure about it, because I have seen the determination, I have seen the discipline in you, and I'm very sure that you are going to bring that discipline and the hard work in this service, and you will be rewarded for that, I think. So I would like to tell our viewers, keep looking for him. You will do great assignments in coming years. This I am very certain, because I've seen him from very close quarters, and there is something within him that will take him to greater heights. We wish him all the best once again, and from Team Insights, and also on behalf of all the aspirants community. I hope all of you enjoyed this particular conversation, and I think those who are harboring the dream of becoming diplomats might have got certain clarity about how to go about it, and certain idea about what Indian foreign service is all about. So we wish you all the best for your endeavors also, and we'll keep coming with more and more guests in our next episodes. Thank you so much.